Today is April 2nd. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we are on Chapter 6. In action, we'll read 79. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 11. We'll read page 101. And of course, we read 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. It is Friday Eve. That's always a good thing. One of my buddies would always say that at work. And, it's just so nice to wake up sober today. Happy, joyous, and free. No shakes this morning, no hangover, no panic of, oh God, what did I do after a blackout or anything like that. What a blessing it is just to be alive. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading on page 78, we've been talking about reparations, about potential ways that we can right our wrongs here. Yesterday we talked about, paying alimony, righting our wrongs, and how actions will speak a lot louder than words sometimes, and how we make our amends here. But yeah, we are on page 79. Although these reparations take innumerable forms, there are some general principles which we find guiding. Reminding ourselves that we've decided to go to any lengths to find a spiritual experience, we ask that we be given strength and direction to do the right thing, no matter what the personal consequences may be. We may lose our position or reputation or face jail, but we are willing. We have to be. We must not shrink at anything. Usually, however, other people are involved. Therefore, we are not to be the hasty and foolish martyr who would needlessly sacrifice others to save himself from the alcohol pit. A man we know had remarried. Because of resentment and drinking, he had not paid alimony to his first wife. She was furious. She went to court and got an order for his arrest. He had commenced our way of life, had secured a position, and was getting his head above water. It would have been impressive heroics if he had walked up to the judge and said, "Here I am." We thought he ought to be willing to do that if necessary, but if he were in jail, he could provide nothing for either family. We suggested he write his first wife, admitting his faults and asking forgiveness. He did, and also sent a small amount of money. He told her what he would try to do in the future. He said he was perfectly willing to go to jail if she insisted. Of course, she did not, and the whole situation has long since been adjusted. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. And for the last couple of days, we've been talking about meditation and how, at first it seems a little foolish, but when we use our imagination for a constructive reason, such as meditating on a prayer, for instance, and how we can apply that to our lives, this is actually quite practical and constructive. So let's go back to that prayer. We're on page 101. Once more, we read our prayer, and again we try to see what its inner essence is. We'll think now about the man who first uttered the prayer. First of all, he wanted to become a channel. Then he asked for the grace to bring love, forgiveness, harmony, truth, faith, hope, light, and joy to every human being he could. Next came the expression of an aspiration and a hope for himself. He hoped, God willing, that he might be able to find some of these treasures too. This he would try to do by what he called self-forgetting. What did he mean by self-forgetting, and how did he propose to accomplish that? He thought it better to give comfort than receive it, better to understand than be understood, better to forgive than be forgiven. This much could be a fragment of what is called meditation, perhaps our very first attempt at a mood, a flyer into the realm of the spirit, if you like. It ought to be followed by a good look at where we stand now, and a future look at what might happen in our lives were we able to move closer to the ideal that we have been trying to glimpse. Meditation is something which can always be further developed. It has no boundaries, either of width or height. Aided by such instruction and example as we can find, it is essentially an individual adventure, something which each one of us works out in his own way. But its object is always the same: to improve our conscious contact with God, with His grace, wisdom, and love. And let's always remember that meditation is in reality intensely practical. One of its first fruits is emotional balance. With it, we can broaden and deepen the channel between ourselves and God as we understand Him. "24 hours a day, April 2nd. AA thought for the day. Since I've been in AA, have I made a start toward becoming more loving to my family and friends? Do I visit my parents? Am I more appreciative of my spouse than I was before? Am I grateful to my family for having put up with me? Have I found real understanding with my children? Do I feel that the friends that I found in AA are real friends?" Sorry, that's my cat in the background. "Do I believe that they are always ready to help me? And do I want to help them if I can? Do I really care about other people?" Meditation for the day. Not what you do so much as what you are. That is the miracle working power. You can be a force for good with the help of God. God is here to help you and to bless you, here to keep company with you. You can be a worker with God. Changed by God's grace, you shed one garment of the Spirit for a better one. In time, you throw that one aside for yet a finer one. And so from character to character, you are gradually transformed. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may accept every challenge. I pray that each acceptance of a challenge may make me grow into a better person. Daily Reflection, April 2nd. Character building. Demands made upon other people for too much attention, protection, and love can only invite domination or revulsion. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 44. When I uncovered my need for approval in the 4th step, I didn't think it should rank as a character defect. I wanted to think of it more as an asset, that is, the desire to please people. It was quickly pointed out to me that this need can be very crippling. Today I still enjoy getting the approval of others, but I'm not willing to pay the price that I used to pay to get it. I will not bend myself into a pretzel to get others to like me. If I get your approval, that's fine. But if I don't, I will survive without it. I am responsible for speaking what I perceive to be the truth, not what I think others may want to hear. Similarly, my false pride always kept me overly concerned about my reputation. Since being enlightened in the AA program, my aim is to improve my character. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. And I love how the 24 hours a day and the daily reflection today are basically very similar. They're about the same thing almost. And it's all about character building. Not in the sense of, oh, I'm going to be a better person so that everyone else can tell and be like, wow, look at that guy. Go Rob, go. Not necessarily for that reason at all, but for the reason of doing the right thing for the right thing's sake. Doing the right thing for the right reasons. And I love the prayer for the day, and the 24 hours a day. I pray that I may accept every challenge, because challenges are coming my way. I can either gripe about them and say, oh, this ain't fair. This is poor me. Or I can accept, okay, this is the challenge for today. I pray that each acceptance of a challenge may make me grow into a better person. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This year in my job has been one of the most challenging years I've ever had. But I've been trying to reframe it in the sense that, okay, what can I learn from this year? What can I learn from the challenges I'm facing? And it's also been a great demonstration of step 10. When I'm wrong, promptly admit it. There have been times this year where I got it wrong and I have to promptly admit it to the people around me. So it's been a great exercise in working step 10 quite a bit, but I've been trying to, again, reframe it. See, old me would have been like, oh, you suck, Rob. You know, you need to just do something else for a living. You suck at this. You're terrible, blah, 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 blah. But now I'm like, okay, today was a tough day, but what can I learn from it? What was a positive from this day? What can I try differently tomorrow? I mean, it's definitely kept me on my toes this year, for sure. But then, I try to reframe it now. Somebody always said, hey, you don't have a bad day. You're having a character building day. Celebrate the failure because you're being challenged. I think that's really cool. That's a really cool way to look at it, that growth mindset. And, okay, quick side note, this has really nothing to do with AA, but in a way it's related. I am a huge fan of a Navy SEAL and Marine named David Goggins, and he has an amazing book called Can't Hurt Me. But in that book, he talks about all of his challenges, and he really says that, honestly, it's through the challenges that he's grown the most, and that we can rise above that. And I know at the end of the book, he talks about how he just wants to live up to be the man that his higher power has created him to be. And I think that's a great way to put it. That's what I want. So anytime I'm going through a challenge, I think to myself now, okay, this is another step. If I allow it to be, at least, this is another step closer to being a better man. Not for my glory, but that I can give God the praise, and that maybe I can be a channel, going back to the St. Francis prayer, that I can be a channel for his power. It's kind of like what the third step's talking about, and the seventh step prayer. God, I offer myself to you to build with me and do with me as you will. So do your will. Relieve me the bondage of self. And it is bondage sometimes, actually all the time, that I may better do your will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over these things may bear witness to those I would help of your power, your love, and your way of life. So that third step prayer tells me I can bear witness to your power, your love, so I can give glory to you, and that I may better serve others. This isn't about take away my difficulties so I can be a good man and everyone like me. It's character building for character building's sake. And I love that. But my friends, that's all my rambling I've got for today. I hope you all have a great one today. If you are sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And those who love you are very proud of you. You're giving a great gift to everyone around you. And you have a unique superpower to help the next suffering alcoholic out there. And if you're not sober today, I hope you know that you are a miracle as well. That you have great worth. And that your story is not done yet. I pray that you'd find the honesty, the open-mindedness, and the willingness to reach out for help today. There are people dying to help you. And again, this could be the brand new step, the very first line in your new chapter. And as always, my friends, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I am just a drunk. Honored to be here this morning, April 2nd, at about 3:30 in the morning with my two crazy cats in the garage. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.